Good evening. Welcome to Moments with Lady K and Mistah T Show, where they converse on motivational living, clearing negativity from your life, local events, and more. Here are your hosts, Kimberly McLemore and Teryck Coles.
All right, hello and welcome to Moments with Lady K and Mistah T. I'm one of the hosts. My name is Kimberly McLemore, better known as Lady K. And with me I have Teryck Coles, better known as
Mistah T.
Dun, 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 dun. Look, I gotta get my little cheesy hand clap in there. For those of us who are always here, cheesy hand clap in there for my Mistah T. Wow. Hello. It has been a little while since we last talked, and now we're in a new year. I can't believe it. It's finally here, and we're here, and of course, before we dive into everything, Mistah T, we got to go through our normal mantra of tell the listeners just a little bit about who you are.
Hello, listeners out there. Hello and Happy New Year. We wish you a prosperous New Year, a wonderful New Year, un año nuevo y muy prospero para ti. So I'm working on my Spanish, so one day you might hear me really working on my Spanish and talking to y'all. To all the poppies and the mommies out there, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But hello, everybody. I am Mistah T, always known as T, here in the DMV, owner of the Move with T LLC, a very fun and holistic fitness-based company. Once again, based here in the DMV, and we do lots of fun stuff. We think about fitness in a way that is not just about the physical sense, but overall wellness, and like I said, holistically. And we try to encourage everyone to be their best selves, not only in the gym, but outside of the gym. And what else is there about me in January 2021? I'm still a contributor to the Z-Beat, offering a monthly offering for motivational wellness, because I'm kind of like the motivation coach, and I do my own thing as well, like I said, and I work, and I'm a doggy daddy. As a matter of fact, just before our recording, I went to pick up my wonderful little doggy, Pepper. You all know Pepper. Some of you know Pepper, some of you don't. If you don't know Pepper, get into it. He just got picked up from the groomer so he could look all snazzy and everything for our family Zoom meeting this coming Sunday. I won't say Saturday, but Sunday. And so now he's looking good, feeling good, and he is spoiled, and I spoil him. And I think that's all I got going on right now. I'm also a brand ambassador for Athea Skincare. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can take care of your skin and be beautiful. And other than that, I think that's all I got. I can talk about right now. Lady K, I'm going to turn it over to you. Please tell our listeners all about what you got going on.
Oh, well, hey, I don't think I have as much as you have going on right now, but I wanted to say real quick, I love the ending of that, about the skincare. You forgot to mention that they can look good just like you, okay? You forgot to add the just like me scenario, okay?
Well, you can't look just like me because there's only one me, but your skin can glow the same way that mine glows when you're using Athea skincare.
And Athea,
shameless plug.
If you are listening, we are pumping you up today. Okay, so they need to be listening to this. Your ambassador is doing his thing. Okay, so. But anyway, so as they call me Lady K, and of course I have many other names. I Kimberly McLemore, and of course, I am the CEO and founder of the Women's Small Business Initiative, and I am the host of Your Resource for Success podcast program, which is also right here on iHeartRadio every week. And so, as well as that, I am a self-published award-winning author, and I do train other people to learn how to use the power of the voice by either becoming an author or starting their own podcast show. So that is who I am in a quick nutshell and about what I do. And of course, me and Mr. T, we've been doing this show. Gosh, are we on our second or third year? I mean, I'm starting to get lost in the mix of this.
I think we're moving into our third year now, if I'm not mistaken. So it seems like longer, though, but we might have to go back and do some math here.
I know. It seems like we've been doing it longer, but I guess the first year when we started doing it, we combined it with my show, my original show, and we put it on its own new platform last year. So this is going to be our third year. So, hey, bravo to us for sure.
Yes, bravo.
Yeah. So I said the years have been going by really fast. This month we really want to focus. Obviously, it's happening here. New things coming in our way. People are thinking new and outside the box. At least that's what the goals always are. But the talk for today is really about what do you wish existed in 2021 after having such a tumultuous, unique, different 2020 year. It's like there's no way we can't sit down here and reflect about what happened and then what is the way forward from such a unique year, right? So 2021 is something fresh, but 2020, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how it reflected and hit me throughout the year. Obviously, January of 2020 was normal. For like most people, we all thought woo, normal. Then guess what? Here comes March and boom, talking about a knockdown all at once. It was a definite eye opener. And I think for me, the experience of March 2020 was so unique because I happened to be out in the middle of this global ordeal that was happening right in front of my face, doing my job, which I'm not going to get into. But being out in the midst of all of it and then all of a sudden literally having to scoop up and stop my life right where I was at so I could make it back home before I got completely shut down to where I couldn't get home. And so it really was a defining moment, I think, for me, realizing that we are no longer going to have a normal, simplistic life from that point and from that day on, that everything was literally, you guys are shutting down. You will be stuck in your homes and you will do this, A, B, C, and D, whether you like it or not. And I don't think it was all bad, but it was definitely a way of having to sit back and say, ooh, what am I going to do now? And I don't think that the things that we were being asked to do during that time frame was difficult, but I think that it was just something where people are so used to having the freedom. We all are. We're used to having the freedom of just being able to come and go and do what we want to do when we feel like doing it, even though there's some degree of control, whether we want to believe that or not. And looking at 2020, there was a lot of ups, there was a lot of downs, but there was also some benefit of being able to have opportunity to reflect, to rethink, restructure, understand, try to have some understanding of what's going on the outside world, but what's going on within the inside world really gave me an opportunity to sit down and say, okay, I need to put myself in check in this ABCD box that I've created for myself. And I'm going to leave it right there because I want you to dive in, Mr. T, and kind of give us your overview and over reflection of how you thought 2020 hit you. And then, we'll get into some more deeper thought and kind of questions and conversation about the rest of 2020 into 2021.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Lady K. Wow, 2020. um, First of all, I can honestly say that I know someone who actually has a shirt, and they wear the shirt often. That says 2020 sucks. um, so that says something right there. However, I think that 2020 was a year that really, overall, when we sit back and really dissect it, the way I look at 2020 is it was a year that really kind of forced us as a people into introspection. So, or just to start paying attention, not even to introspection, because I don't even think cumulatively as a group that we're there yet as a nation, but I think that it started setting off little bonfires of awareness throughout the country, just from the global situation that we're in, also with the loss of lives that happened that were all over the news with the Black Lives Matter movement, the Me Too movement, which also kind of ran along with that, which was separate, but still its own separate thing, but also something that was very much so important to recognize. And then we've had some offshoots of those movements that have occurred as well. And I think they say hindsight is 2020, and I think for this nation specifically, it was a call to awareness, and it was a shakeup. And usually we look at 2020 like, we say, like I said, hindsight 2020. We think of it as awareness in a good way. But this past year, unfolded or made aware to our nation's consciousness a stark awareness and understanding that sadly many folks sought to, I want to say ignore, but I feel like that's a stronger word than I really want to use, but they allowed to just kind of subside and exist in the back of their consciousness. But they were forced because of the global situation that we're still in right now, actually.
Right.
Because we're stuck at home, we're forced to see things and look at things that normally you might be working when something comes out, so then you're catching up on stuff, and you may think, oh, that's clickbait or that's Twitter fodder or whatever. But when you're watching something happen in real time, that's a different experience. And so, I think for us, this was a huge unveiling of our eyes as a nation to the soul of our existence as a country. And it's been solemn, but there have been some good things. And some people may be wondering, what is good about last year? I'm going to shift very quickly over to the good things really, really fast.
Right.
We're making a hard left right here. The understanding and ability to navigate technology. We've had some of this technology that we're using right now, actually, available to us for years. And how many of us really, really used it? Raise your hand. I'm sure there'll only be like a smattering of hands. But we've actually been, unfortunately, forced to use this technology that we've already had to actually use it, make it beneficial, and become experts at this. And it's like, this is why this was created. Well, this wasn't why this was created, but it was created so you don't have to go fly across the country to see your best friend. You can just log on and say, hey, girl, hey, guy, how you doing? You want to talk to your Meemaw? You might have to teach her how, or somebody that's near her, to use the technology. My grandmother has a tablet, and she has a Zoom, and she knows how to use it. It's got her first name on it, well on the app, and it's got her first name Zoom, so she knows she can press this because my mother has taught her how to use it.
Uh-huh.
My mother is teaching me how to use this type of technology. So it's interesting that it's allowing those of us to bond, like this type of technology, to bond across generational lines within our own families, which is wonderful. And I want to talk about the masks because I mentioned to you earlier there's something I was going to share about one of the good things that I like from the masks. And I shared this with a friend recently. And I know a lot of people do not like wearing a mask. They're like, oh, I hate having to put my mask on. Number one, you can make your mask a part of your outfit, and you can coordinate it. So why people hate on that, I don't know. I'm like, you can style it and profile it. So number one, get it together.
Fashionista over here. That's right.
Right. I mean, I coordinate my mask every day to match. I got masks and every different colors and shades and patterns to match whatever I'm wearing. So you make it a part of your outfit. And so, but one of the things I really, really appreciate about that from 2020 is it forced us to actually start listening to one another. Because with that mask, there's an added barrier where we sound a little muffled. So now I got to stop, and I have to actually stop what I'm doing and listen to you. Mm-hmm. And then what I also appreciate about it is I've seen so many more people looking one another in their eyes while they're listening. So we're connecting with people in ways that we would not have in 2019. We would just listen to somebody while we're turned to the side, kind of like halfway listening. Now we're forced to listen to what people are saying, and we're willing to stop because we're not able to touch one another and shake a hand or give a fist bump. So now I'm looking you in your eyes, and that's like it exemplifies us being able to connect in a way because we're relegated to non-physical forms of connection now. So me looking you in the eyes is like a big deal now. Me actually stopping and listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth, not passively listening, but actively listening because I want to understand what it is you're telling me. So I was like, 2020 wasn't all bad. And then, of course, for all of us to be stuck inside with all those projects that we've been putting off, that we finally are like, well, I guess I need to go ahead and build that cabinet set or put together that dresser or, dust.
Clean out those shelves.
Yep. Get rid of those clothes that were in the closet that I've been meaning to do for years. But I mean, when you think about all the things that we were kind of like, okay, well, I just need to just do this because I'm sitting here looking at it every day. I'm not, distracted by work and other things outside of house. Now I'm in house and I'm at home all the time. Let's start clearing up some space and making this place the way that we really truly want it to be. Right. And, a lot of us don't have the luxury of having people that we can hire to come in to do those things. So we get to do it ourselves because it's from our own vision. So we're allowing our own creativity in our own spaces to do what that does, and that's make our space our true our true safe space where we can exist and be happy. So 2020, for all its intents and purposes, it's been a roller coaster, but it's also had its jewels as well. So, and it's a matter of us finding our perspectives on that makes it or breaks it.
Right. And you're right. And I'm going to piggyback a little bit on what you were just saying because you're right. I like how, we all have complained about the fact that, I don't have enough time to do this and I don't have enough time to do that. And, we were forced to make time because, like you said, we couldn't go anywhere. We were stuck, and to some degree we still are. We have a little more flexibility now, but we literally had to look at everything that was in front of our eyes. And like I said, we had to focus on everything that, whether it was what's inside your home, what's going on, not what just physically what's inside your home, but what's personally going on with you and within your home, having to encounter, if you're in a relationship, having to be able to atone to that relationship and really actually focus on that relationship. If you have that relationship, taking care of personal things that you've been wanting to do, whether it's getting an education, because everything went from having to be physically in front of you to literally everything is virtually. So there was no more excuse of, well, I can't go to school now because I don't have time to get to the classroom, or, I can't go and start this because I have to be in front of a person to talk to them. Now there's those options are always going to be there and be available because we can do it virtually. And I was laughed at 4 years ago when I started my business and I wanted to do everything virtually. I was told, no, nobody's going to want to do that. Who wants to be a member and all you can do is get on virtually? And that's just, nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be in front of you. You got to talk to people in front of them, be in front of their face. 4 years later, what happened? It's like, really? Here we are. I was literally told over and over and over, I would fail. This is not going to happen. Nobody wants to do this because we're human. We have to be in front of each other. We have to touch each other. We have to hug each other. We have to hold each other. We have to be able to talk to each other. And then, as you say, the famous word 2020 is hindsight. Now, it's crazy that we have utilized that terminology for many, many years and not even understanding what it really means. And here we are having to go back and refocus and think about what does that true meaning of 2020 is hindsight mean? All of the things that we've had to go through in the last year, obviously still moved into this new year, but realizing that all the things that we put as hindsight or what we could have done or should have done, we've been either forced to continue to do it, or either if maintain doing nothing and not moving forward. But at the end of the day, it's all been shoved back into our faces. It's all been something that we've had to sit back in and take that opportunity to, like I said earlier, reflect. But if you're not just reflecting, have an opportunity to just relax. Because we were constantly on the go, constantly 24. Like you say, even when we would come to our classes, we're so busy trying to get through the class, and then we're trying to talk to each other. And then next thing you know, you got 20 other people around you and they're trying to talk. You never can focus on one person at a time. And now we're focused to be able to do that and be able to enjoy and actually learn and appreciate what that person is saying, or, what type of friend you really have, or what you have built within that time frame. And after all the years you've known them, and because now we have no choice but to do one thing at a time versus constantly feeling like you got to have everybody there in order to be seen or be heard or whatever the case may be, because of all those things that have happened to us. Now, obviously, nobody wants to have to deal with this, the hard part of what we've had to do with all the things globally. There's been definitely a lot of life of loss there. I've lost family last year, completely unexpected, and it hit me in a whole different way that, you're just not prepared for. Because we all believe that we're going to be here. We all believe that there's nothing that can take us out besides the fact that we do know and understand that we have a day that's coming. We just don't know when that day is coming. And then when you realize that it has hit your family because of something you don't really understand why this is truly happening and how could this happen, and then so many people are consistently losing their lives, it makes you realize how precious life truly is. So for those who sit back, and I'm going to say it, I get frustrated when I hear people whine about, I got to stay at home. I have nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to talk to, and blah, 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 blah. But never thinking about the beauty of being able to get up every day to be able to complain, to be able to sit in your own home, to be able to read that book or have that job and still be able to. There's so many things out here that have been negative, that have hurt people in so many different ways. So when I hear the complaining about, I just need to get out. Well, get out, but you have to learn to deal with yourself. You have to be able to understand that you have the best thing that you could possibly ask for, and that's life. As much as we want to complain about the little things, but being able to get up and breathe every day. For those people who have lost their lives during 2020, totally unexpected. Nobody could have ever thought that this was ever coming. They wish that they could get up and do the same thing that you're doing. And those people, their families, wish they could get up and talk to them and spend that time with them, even if it is doing another Zoom. Because I know we have all been Zoomed out, Teamed out, free conference called out, whatever platform you're using in order to communicate with your friends and your loved ones and your colleagues. It's wearing you down, and it will continue to wear you down. But you have to find the happiness, the good parts about what has gone on within us last year and how we are able to continue to move forward. So I'm gonna stop preaching for a second, Mr. T. Stop me now.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you.
You too quiet on the other end. You too quiet on the other end. I'm like, ooh, stop me from preaching. I know I'm preaching. I know I am.
Well, and I agree with everything you're saying. So I totally understand. And but one thing that we do want to talk about with our show is we do want to talk about what we wish existed for 2021. Of course, we're in 2021, and I've been trying to think, do I want to think about this as I would have thought about it last year? Or as I'm hopeful for what can be from now, what I would like to see occur throughout the year. And I was like, so that's a big thing. So if we talk about things that we wish for the year, I would actually like for people to develop a sense of awareness outside of themselves, where they actually care about other people and consider other people in their thought processes before they make a decision. And I want to say that because too often, especially being in our area, and I know that you'll know what I mean. And those that live in, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you live in a large urban area or city or a small town. We all have those people that are self-absorbed and only consider themselves, and they don't think outside their small bubble. So my hope is that everyone that I wish would exist in this year is that people continue to develop outside of their bubbles. Because it started last year where people started to see outside their bubbles, but now I want them to start to think outside of their bubbles and put that into action. Also in 2021, something that I think that I would want to happen outside of what we've experienced. I would say, if you had asked me last year, it would have been, we need a vaccine for the global situation that's going on right now. We're using our words very carefully, listeners, because we want to make sure that you can listen to this. So if you have a question to ask us about it. Privately, one-on-one. But we would have asked for a vaccine, but now we have not one but two, and I believe there's a third on the way.
Yeah.
So we have that. As a healthcare worker, I would say for those people who are continue to be elusive in their healthcare needs, and I like the word elusive. And those of you out there who maybe some of our listeners, you know who you are, the ones who never pick up the phone when your doctor's office calls and you know you need to go in for an appointment. Yes, that's us calling you to come in to get whatever you need to have done because you have been avoiding us. Yeah, I would love for you guys to come in and do your preventive care, not just come in when you're sick and or on your proverbial quote-unquote deathbed.
Right.
Yeah, do the work beforehand while you're healthy. So we establish a fair baseline. And if you've been using the coronavirus as an excuse to stay out of the doctor's office because there was no vaccine. Oh, shoot, I just said it. I'm sorry.
It's
Uh, whoops. The global pandemic, the global situation, as an excuse to not come in for your standard preventive healthcare needs. You no longer have that excuse anymore. So there's that. And the last thing I wish for in 2021, and hopefully she won't silence us, and you probably know what I'm going to say, Lady K. We need for Beyonce to release a wonderful album or some kind of virtual tour or experience that we can all download and enjoy. So
Beyonce.
that's what I'm expecting in 2021. Beyonce to give us something wonderful this year, not just what she gave us last year.
Mhm.
I need something. I need a visual experience that I can enjoy, and I know she can do it because
Exactly.
she's done it. She did it pre-pandemic, so I know she can do it. I know she can do it. So there you
Right.
go.
Well, the key is
Those
Beyonce.
are
If
my
you are,
wishes.
yes, but we need to tell her if she's listening. Please reach out to us, okay? Because this man right here, I mean, we love you, but he loves you, okay? So we need you. We need you, Beyonce, to come to the Lady K Mistah Show so we can have this amazing conversation with you. Because you are our number one star on this show right here, okay? So hopefully Beyonce will hear that, or somebody will at least pass it on to her. So,
Blue Ivy can hear it and pass it along. I'm sure she runs interference. We want some Ivy Park. I'll be happy to unbox anything, even if it's just socks. I'll be happy. I don't need anything big. Just something small. Just because I love you and I buy stuff from you. Please, Beyonce, listen to
hey,
me.
there you go. So see his top three wish. Really, that was the number one, but he put it at the end.
Well, I couldn't start with that naturally. I had to like
Yeah.
work up to that.
I mean, you can say whatever you
So
want
you
to.
know.
Look, this is your show, okay? Say
Oh, this
whatever
is
you want
our
to.
show.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it's we have to be able to laugh. We have to be able to have a good time. And when I'm thinking about 2021, excuse me, it's like I've gotten to the point where I don't sit back and think about goals anymore. I always think about continuing to exist and do the things that make me happy. And that was like something I wanted to do. I had started in 2020 and then I got forced to actually deal with that. And so I think that that's the biggest thing that I'm finding is that what surrounds us in our community, in our country, across globally, is that people are so unhappy. And I would love to see more happiness in the world, more smiling faces, more respect, more love, and not so much of that negativity that we're seeing consistently. We know it exists, we know it's here, we see it every day, but we never hear enough about the beauty of what's going on within our own communities and outside of our communities and within ourselves. And I think that's one thing that I would love to see more in 21 because we definitely unfortunately have had to carry some of the things that have happened in 20 into 21 because we have no choice until things can get rectified and things start to get back a little bit more continually every day back to normal when it comes to the physical side of it, the health side of it and all of that. But personally, it's a choice. People make the choice to decide how they're going to treat others. Is because I find if you treat yourself that way 90% of the time, you're going to treat everybody else around you the same way. So I would definitely like to see a better improvement and of more love and understanding and learning to treat people with more respect. I know that people say that, respect is earned, but you also have, if you don't respect yourself, then how can you expect people to earn it? How can you tell them that it's earned from you? So I think those are some of the things that need to be dealt with. The other thing I would love to see is that I guess in 2021 that oh wow, I'm trying to think what else do if there's something that you want to do it. As the saying goes, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you're constantly sitting back in the limelight, in the background, trying to figure out how you can get into the limelight or what it is that you want to do that makes you happy, or something you want to share with the world, or start a new business, whatever the case may be, you have to learn how to do you. But if you don't open your mouth, nobody's going to understand or know what it is you need or want to have in the new year, and continuing on beyond the new year. And I think the fun part that I would definitely like to see and do more of, can't wait to get back and do a little more traveling and seeing the other portions of our country and seeing how beautiful we are, and trying to enjoy it a little bit more. Because now, you have the pictures, and, it's ironic we're having this little conversation now, because I was just talking to someone prior to our call that, or doing our show, that, we were talking about that people don't really understand that now is a really good time to travel, because you have less individuals around you, and you're actually taking the opportunity to enjoy what you can physically see and do, because you have no choice. You're not interrupted by everything else that's around you, because, being in business, it's always, for everybody's thought process is that, hey, I got to make money, so we got to have as many people here as we possibly can, whether they're enjoying that moment or not. It's usually always about making money and doing what needs to be doing, hitting those numbers. And now, I find that even when I have to travel for my job, it's people are much more appreciative. The service is even better. Everything is this thing of thank you, thank you, thank you. We really appreciate you coming on and, and taking this and doing that, whatever the case may be. So I definitely would want to have more travel time, but I would love to see that everybody, the things that have been put in place, I would love for them to stay. Obviously, we want everything to continue to grow and try to get back to as much normalcy as we can. But I really think that some of the things that have been mandated and put into place, I think that, they need to stay, so that we can show much more appreciation and realize that, we're all in it together in a lot of ways. And when it comes to business, you can't have a business without people. And this, I think, for the first time in many, many years, I've seen that appreciation in 2020, and it needs to be brought here in 2021, and it needs to stay. So those are my things. I think I said more than 3, but anyway.
It's okay. It's okay. This is our show.
There you go. We can say what we want to say. We always try to be respectful. We have our moments, but hey.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Well, actually, we're actually even within time frame for a change. I'm like, well, I'll be doggone. Look at us. We started out the right way this year, so
Yay!
Yay! So anyway, it's one of the shows that we definitely our big thing and our big strategy and understanding of our shows is about inspiration, and we talk about our experiences and sharing our experiences. We know that a lot of you all have those same types of thoughts and experiences, but sometimes don't know how to say it or don't know how to share it without feeling like there's going to be that backlash, or if you're just going through a certain rough patch and you need that hug, you need that. We're here to do it for you and give it to you virtually, through this amazing platform that we have together. And the one thing I love about you, Mr. T, is that you bring it in such a perspective that it just makes you melt, and having us together is what, gives it to the people in a way that they can truly understand that we're just as human as everybody else. But, it's just always such a pleasure working with you. I just love being on the show with you. Love it.
I love being here with you.
Well, thank you. And one day we'll decide to do the show more often. I always go back and look at our history throughout the year, and our show has been some of our tops, believe it or not. I went back through and I was like, wow, people do listen to us and people are interested in what we have to say. And I think that's the beauty of it. But I think a big part of it is because not so much it's just, even though it's about us a lot, it's really about what we're all seeing in the world. And we're, like I said, we're definitely sharing that information and, and having that good conversation about what we like to see, what you can do to make your day and make your life a little easier. I'm hoping that we're hitting some of those points. But, if there's some suggestions that you all have, please reach out to us. I don't know why I can never remember our own Instagram and our own Gmail. This is not good.
No, it's okay. It's totally okay. So I'll handle that part. I'll be the administrative assistant.
Thank you.
So you all can email us directly at momentstnk@gmail.com. That's momentstandk@gmail.com. So you can email us when you're ready to let us know, like I said, at momentstnk.com. We are available on Facebook and Instagram, so you can follow us on social media. For our Instagram, you want to know what that is? I'll bet you're waiting to find out all that wonderful information. So for our I'm talking, but I need to swallow at the same time. Excuse me. So you can follow us on Instagram at Lady K and Mr. T Podcast. It's LadyKandMrTPodcast. So Lady K and Mr. T Podcast. So that's on Instagram. Now, if you are on Facebook, and I know we have some Facebook users out there, you're looking for Moments with Lady K and Mr. T. That's K with the letter K and T, the letter T. Mr. is spelled the same way, Mistah. Lady, of course, if you don't know how to spell lady, we probably need to get you some hooks on phonics to get you back to the fundamentals. But Moments with Lady K and Mr. T. So that's on Facebook. So you have all of our options available to you. Moments T and K at email or at gmail.com. You have Moments with Lady K and Mr. T on Facebook. And then, of course, you have us available to you on Instagram at Lady K and Mr. T Podcast. So you have a myriad of ways to follow us, and you can follow us individually. You can follow me at Move with T LLC on Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow my wonderful co-host Lady K. Are you ready?
I am. You can follow me at WSBI LLC. That's the easiest way. And obviously, like I said, we're on Facebook and we are on Twitter and on Instagram. So you can follow that all the way through. So that's pretty easy to catch up with me. So it's at WSBI LLC. And if you want to email me anytime, you can email me at Kimberly, WSBILLC@gmail.com. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. So that is our show for the evening. Do you have any last words before we hang it up?
I do. I always come with something prepared for everyone, for all of our listeners. It doesn't have anything to do with wishes per se. With the new year, something that I recommend to my followers and to my movers and shakers is not to focus on resolutions, because so many times we all have resolutions, but then we break those resolutions usually pretty quickly. But I encourage them to have goals for the year. And something I found by Vern McLemore, I think kind of really sums up even more where I am existing currently in my mental state in going into 2021. So he or she, I don't know if Vern is male or female, but the message was, what the new year brings to you on what you bring to the new year. So I think that's very important to think about. So what the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year. Mm-hmm. So if you're not bringing your best, if you're not ready to do the work, then you're going to have another year like last year where you're sitting at home and you're stuck at home. Literally, we were all stuck at home last year. So do you want to be stuck at home again in this year? Do you want to be stuck at home? If you want to be stuck at home, then that's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you don't want to be stuck at home, And that doesn't mean literally stuck at home. Going into 2021, you have options available to you. You have ways to connect with people. You have ways to visit places. You have ways to travel virtually and physically that are options for you. You have ways to get outside of your bubble. So what are you bringing into this year to set yourself up for a successful year?
All right. You heard it. You heard it from the man over here, okay? So there's no excuses, no reasons not to succeed in life, and every day is a new opportunity. So don't wait till Monday, don't wait till the weekend, whatever the case may be. Utilize each day to the fullest of your potential, because we never know when it's going to be our last. But until then, I hope you all enjoyed this evening. And as usual, Mr. T, I love you, and I always hate having to end the show, but it's time for us to go. So I truly enjoyed spending my time with you as usual.
Oh, and I enjoyed spending time with you as well. Much love.
And for everyone else, we again thank you for listening in to us tonight. We'll be back next month with another amazing topic. And again, if you have a topic you would like for us to discuss, or you may want to be our guest, just reach out to us with all the different platforms that we just gave you. We'll also put this in the down area in the comment section, so you can also find that information as we are putting this out as our next episode for the new year. So again, follow us on iHeartRadio. We're also on Spotify, plus we're on several other platforms. But until next time, you all have a good evening and good night. Good night, Mr. T.
Good night, Lady K. Good night, listeners.
And we're out.
Good night, everyone. Moments with Lady K and Mr. T will return next month at 7 p.m. Follow us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.